we have the current stock market update for Coinbase Global Incorporated, stock ticker COIN. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comment section so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So what we're looking at here is the 1 hour price chart. Each candle on this time frame represents a 1 hour trading period. And as we can see here, the stock is attempting to find its footing after a fairly major short-term decline here. So we did post some prior highs, which came in right around 2223.70. Let's mark that in here. So this is now a major area of resistance here because, as we can see, there was a massive short-term failure at this price point. So this stock chart is really starting to look like the Mara Holdings stock chart because and they are kind of a peripherally related stock because they're both sort of deeply connected to the cryptocurrency space. And that stock as well. I just finished a video on that stock. I recommend people take a look at that chart in that video because what we're starting to see here is a price movement that was fairly drastic in nature, and then we're starting to sort of find support zones at these lower levels. So it's not exactly clear if this is going to work necessarily. If share prices are going to really bounce from here. For Mara Holdings, it's right around that $15 level. And I do think that if that level breaks in that stock, that stock could be in trouble. So these stocks do tend to sort of follow one another to some extent. I mean, there's a high positive correlation between these two stocks. I understand they're not exactly the same thing. They're not even in exactly the same business, but they are both heavily exposed to cryptocurrency prices. And, that does have an effect on where stock movements actually are likely to occur next. So, it is sort of the same formation here. We're sort of falling sharply right into a support zone. And it does look as though, if we don't start to find some support here soon, we could be in some trouble with this stock. So in this case, what we're looking at here is the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement. I'll just delete this line here so that we could sort of see exactly what that was, like why we were pointing to that in a prior video, because, this is the 786 retracement of this trending price move here. So if we retrace 78.6% of that move, it comes out to right around this level here, which is right around 175. So what we were looking at was 175.20. And as we can see here, the actual price low was closer to about 176.50. So about $1.30 difference or so. So for my money, that's a very good signal here because it did start to catch some of this downside price movement. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that this will be the end of the road for this decline. I mean, we could still continue to see share prices move lower. And if we look at the indicator reading here, we can see that there is some developing bearish momentum that is being focused here. We do sort of have to point out that there is also some longer term bullish momentum that is still valid and viable. So, this is a longer term reading. It's also more stable in nature. So it will be harder to break this trend to the downside. It will be easier to break this trend, this negative trend, if we continue to see share prices sort of bounce from here. So if we are able to find some support right around this 175, 176 area, I do think it's then possible to sort of start to destroy or invalidate or remove this downtrend line that does signify bearish trend momentum. So overall, I would consider this reading to be a positive reading, even though there is some shorter term, development that is occurring in the bearish direction. So at the moment, this is really the major question here: does 175 hold? If that does not occur, I think at the very least you're looking at this prior support zone, which would have been found right around 162, just below 162. As we can see here, this is an area that was tested on many different occasions. And the last time it was tested, we saw share prices, move higher in a very significant way. So that tells us that there is a lot of buying activity down here. A lot of support is found in this area. And that would sort of be the next downside price target if we lose 175.20. So I would then expect to see share prices probably move into that area. And then from there, I think that you're probably, if we do see a break below 161.90, I think you're probably looking at a break of 150 as well. So to the top side, we have to look at that area as well. There's a lot of room here to the top side. I mean, if share prices can find support here, you've got a decent bullish trade. And as I was saying with the Mara Holdings stock chart, that actually looks like a fairly decent risk to reward type of scenario. I mean, because if you are buying in at these lower levels here, around 180 or so, you do have some price movement to the downside, but you could have a relatively tight stop loss of about $7 or $8, something like that. And then to the top side, you could be looking at $45 or something around there. And in most trades, what you're really looking for as an ideal situation would be something closer to 3 to 1. So for every dollar you're risking with a stop loss, you want to be looking for a profit target that's at least $3. So in this case, this would be a more preferable trade. You could be looking at maybe $7 to the downside and then maybe $45 to the top side. So, that's definitely a favorable risk to reward ratio. So, if we do see a break of roughly 223.70, there's also not a lot of resistance above there either. I mean, there's a lot of very clear territory here. I think that you're probably looking at something like 260 initially. That would be this resistance zone here, this sort of spike high that developed previously. And then from there, you're looking at 272. So, there is downside here, but to me, this looks limited in terms of, its relationship to the potential for upside. And that is what you're looking for in long positions. So this doesn't mean that we can't continue to move lower. I mean, there is a lot of momentum here that is currently focused in the downside direction. And as we said with the indicator reading, there is definitely bearish momentum here that is developing. If the relative strength index is able to move high enough to break through this reading, I think that would be a very, very encouraging sign. But we could also see a failure here as well, and then we could see that near-term momentum that is focused to the downside continue, and then we could possibly be looking from there at maybe a test of around 162. So those are both scenarios in my view at the moment. Here's Coinbase Global, stock ticker COIN. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.